Welcome you all to this fourth video on Satyajit Ray's beautiful story The Scarecrow. This is the last video, and here you will find the most attractive, the most dramatic part of the story. The third video ended with a lot of suspense. Mriganko Babu, who did not believe in superstition, encountered a situation where a scarecrow started moving and ultimately it started talking to him, and he did talk with the scarecrow. So, the third video ended with the scarecrow, which introduced itself as Mriganko Babu's earlier servant Abhiram, and Mriganko Babu also recognized it from its voice, and Abhiram asked, in the form of scarecrow, it appeared before him and asked him why it all happened, that you cared a lot for me, you loved me a lot, but the end was tragic, the end was sad. Why did this happen? We will now see in the last video, this video, what actually had happened, the background of the story of Mriganko Babu and Abhiram. So, this is the 26th page in this book, Vijay, and our paragraph will start with Mriganko Babu recalled what had happened 3 years ago. Abhiram had worked for his family for 20 years. Everyone trusted him. However, one day he seemed to have lost his head. He stole the gold watch Mriganko Babu had been given as a wedding gift. Abhiram denied the charge, of course, but he had both the time. Abhiram denied the charge, of course, but he had both the time and the opportunity to remove the object. Besides, when Mriganko Babu's father called a local witch doctor who cast a spell and made an ordinary wicker tray spin and rotate until it stopped, pointing at Abhiram, there could possibly be no doubt about his guilt. Abhiram lost his job. That was what happened 3 years ago. Abhiram was working in Mriganko Babu's home, and he worked there for long 20 years. A boy working in a family for long 20 years, you can imagine how much trust will be there, how much intimacy will be there. So, that was there, everybody believed him. But one day something happened, that the author is saying that he seemed to have lost his head. What is the meaning of to lose your head? To lose your head means to lose your conscience, to lose your sense of judgment, to lose the goodness and virtue. That one day suddenly something went wrong with him, and there was a charge against him that he stole the gold watch Mriganko Babu had been given as a wedding gift. The gold watch that Mriganko Babu received during his wedding from his in-laws family was stolen by Abhiram, who was a trusted servant in their home for long 20 years. As a result, what happened? Abhiram denied the charge, of course. He said, no, I didn't steal it. But the time and opportunity that was there, the circumstantial evidence proved that he was the man, he was the person who had stolen it. Besides, when Mriganko Babu's father called a local witch doctor, what is a witch doctor? A witch doctor is a person who practices magic. He applies some magical spell on someone and then some reactions take place. Many people believe in such things. So, when the gold watch of Mriganko Babu was lost, and Abhiram, who was suspected for having stolen it, he denied the charge. Then finally, Mriganko Babu's father called a local witch doctor, a person from his locality who was expert in exercising this magic spell and finding out the truth. Then what happened is that who cast a spell, S-P-E-L-L, spell here means he applies some magical things. And as a result of this, what happened? Made an ordinary wicker tray spin and rotate. Wicker tray. What is this wicker tray? W-I-C-K-E-R. Wicker means the things that it is something like wood or cane from which people make chair, table or tray. Yes, in our home we have chairs made of cane. So, wicker tray is a kind of tray that is made from wood. It is a local made, homemade piece of furniture or piece of things used in the kitchen. So, wicker tray The witch doctor who was invited by Ganga Babu's father, he applied his magical spell, as a result of which the wicker tray started spinning and rotating, and finally it pointed towards Abhiram. Implication is that Abhiram was the thief. Those people believed that when the witch doctor will apply his magical spell on the wicker tray, and the tray will start moving, and finally it will stop moving and it will point towards someone. So it pointed towards Abhiram. There could possibly be no doubt about his guilt. When this was done, no one could believe anything else. All were unanimous on the belief that Abhiram was the thief, although he denied it, although he had worked in their family for long 20 years. As a result, Abhiram obviously he lost his job in that family. Then what happened? Do you know what happened to me after I left? He now asked. Now Abhiram asked Ganga Babu, do you know what happened after I lost my job at your home? Now I never worked anywhere else. I couldn't, because I fell ill. I got dropsy and it became serious. But I had no money to go to a doctor or buy medicines or even eat properly. I never recovered. My son kept this shirt. He wore it for some time. Then it got torn. So it became something a scarecrow could wear, and I became that scarecrow. Do you know why? Because I knew that one day I would meet you again. My heart longed. Yes, even a dead man can have a heart, to tell you what I learned after death. Abhiram is telling Ganga Babu that after I lost my job at your family, at your home, I came home and I fell ill. I got dropsy. I could not go to a doctor. I did not have money. I could not take medicine. I could not even eat properly, and I never recovered. And then I died, and my son kept this shirt, the shirt that you gave me, that you purchased for me. I wore it, and then my son kept it after my death. He wore it for some days. Then it became torn, and it became something that only a scarecrow can wear. So I became a scarecrow, and I wanted to meet you. I believed it. I knew it that one day at least I would meet you here. Why I became a scarecrow? Because I knew that one day you would pass this way, and I will meet you and I will tell you, yes, a dead man also has a heart, and my heart longed. The word long is used here as a verb. We all know that the word long is an adjective. Long, a long story. This is a long story. It's a long way to go. But here the word long is used as a verb. It means if you long for something, it means you eagerly want something. For example, if you are staying in a hostel, you want to go home. Sometimes the feeling becomes so intense in your heart to visit your home, to meet the members of your family. It means you are longing for your home. Abhiram is telling Ganga Babu, my heart longed. It means I eagerly waited. Yes, even a dead man can have a heart. By this, he is implying his intense feeling, his desire to meet Ganga Babu and tell him the truth. What to tell? Abhiram actually did not steal it, and he wanted to tell this thing to Ganga Babu, that you unjustly, you believed in the superstitious thing, and you unjustly expelled me from your home after long 20 years of my service. So, after death I learned something. To tell you what I learned after death. What is it? This is really something very exciting, very shocking. Ganga Babu became very excited to know. Abhiram is going to tell him what he learned after death. What did you learn, Abhiram? Abhiram says, when you go home tonight, look under your wardrobe. That's where you will find your watch. Pushed to the back. It has been lying there for the last 3 years. Your new servant does not sweep every corner, so he did not find it. When you get it back, you will know that Abhiram was not a thief. The truth that I learned after death, I am telling it to you. When you go home now, search, look under your wardrobe, and there you will find the watch that was lost, the watch which you thought I had stolen, the watch which your witch doctor said I had stolen, but the watch is there under your wardrobe. It is lying there for the last 3 years. Your new servant, yes, new servant is also get some kind of scolding now. Your new servant does not sweep well, that is why he has not got it. When you get your watch back, you find it in that particular spot, then you will believe that Abiram was not a thief. See the situation. He worked for a long 20 years. He was a very trusted person. Then he was believed to be the thief. He denied that charge. When out of superstition people believed in the findings of the witch doctor, they became sure that Abiram was thief. They did not believe in his words and they expelled him. Then a tragic end came to his life. He fell ill. He could not find proper food and he could not take medicine. He died. And now after 3 years he is telling the truth to Mriganko Babu that the watch is still there under your wardrobe. It has been lying there for long 3 years. When you find it, as per my words, you go home and search it. When you find it, then you will believe that Abiram was not a thief. See the feeling that Mriganko Babu will have now, the guilt he will feel now. Then what happened? The figure of Abiram became hazy. Hazy means it became indistinct. It started becoming not clear. So far, so long, the Scarecrow came in the form of Abiram came in the form of Scarecrow, and he was speaking, and Mriganko Babu found it quite a natural human being, a normal human being. But when Abiram told this thing to Mriganko Babu, his figure started becoming hazy. It started becoming less clear, and finally it was already quite dark. Mriganko Babu heard his voice once more. The figure of Abiram started getting hazy and hazy. It became less clear and even less clear and less clear. And finally, from a distance, he again spoke. Mriganko Babu could hear his voice. He said, "Now I have found peace. After so many years, at last I have been able to tell you the truth. Oh, it's such a relief. Goodbye, Babu, I must go." It's telling Mriganko Babu that I have now got relief. I was falsely charged. I was expelled. I was punished, and I met a tragic end of my life after my illness, when I could not get any treatment. It is all because of the false trust that you had on the witch doctor, your superstition. But now I was longing to meet you, and in whatever way I can, I have been able to tell you the truth. And now, since I have told you the truth, there will be no doubt. You will no more suspect me. Your ill feeling, your negative feeling about me will at least vanish now. So he says, it's a great relief for me. I have been able to tell the truth. I have been able to express my mind, to tell you what actually had happened, to tell you that, to prove before you that I was not the thief. He now said, it's such a relief to tell the truth, to make myself clear. Goodbye, Babu, I must go. Abiram disappeared before Mriganko Babu's eyes. Suddenly, gradually, Mriganko Babu found Abiram's appearance is gone, his figure is gone, he disappeared. I have brought the petrol, sir. Now, Sudhir has come and he told the author, I have brought the petrol, sir. The sound of Sudhir's voice woke Mriganko Babu up. Yes, this is the turn. When Sudhir came and said, I have brought the petrol, sir, suddenly Mriganko Babu got up. It means he was actually sleeping. It was a dream. In the dream, he saw the Scarecrow and meeting and talking to him, and Abiram speaking him the truth. So Sudhir's voice woke him up. He had fallen asleep in the car, thinking of a suitable plot for a story. In his hand, he still held his pen. As soon as he opened his eyes, he glanced quickly at the Scarecrow. It was still standing in the distance, exactly as he had seen it before. Some questions are here. Here we have found in this paragraph that Mriganko Babu actually fell asleep. He was thinking of creating a plot for his new story. His pen is still there, it is still held within his fingers. He thinking of a new plot, he fell asleep. And now after Sudhir's voice, he got up. But interesting thing is that before that we never found about his sleep. We just found that he went out and he felt uncomfortable, but his falling asleep we never got it. Now the author is telling us that somewhere at some point of time he fell asleep while thinking about his plot, and in the dream he saw it. So before he fell asleep, he saw the Scarecrow. In the dream, in his sleep, again the Scarecrow came. So, after getting up, he again looked at the Scarecrow, whether the Scarecrow is there. He found, yes, Scarecrow is still there. It is exactly the same as he saw it earlier. Now, what to do on reaching home? Since he saw it in the dream, and we also have got some relief from the shock that we got earlier about how come a Scarecrow comes to life and talks like a human being. Now, we have got a relief that it was a dream only. But what will Meganga Babu do? Yes, although it was a dream, but the dream told him about some real happenings of his life, about a boy who was expelled from his home after long 20 years of faithful service, and the boy telling him that, yes, go home and find your gold watch under your wardrobe. So, Meganga Babu will definitely, whether he believes in all these things or not, he will definitely do it. On reaching home, Meganga Babu went straight to his room and searched under his wardrobe. He had no difficulty in finding his watch. He decided that if something ever got stolen from his house, from now on, he would never seek a witch doctor's help. See the complete complexities in the story. Meganga Babu came home, and exactly where Abhiram said, he found his watch. It was lying here for long three years, and now he said that it was all because of the announcement, because of the finding of the witch doctor, that we had to throw away this boy who worked for us for long 20 years so faithfully, so trustfully. He felt bad, and he now decided that from now onwards, if anything got lost in our home, we will never ask a witch doctor, we will never take their help. Now, the questions are, if it was a dream, we did not get in the story exactly at what point of time he fell asleep. After Sudhir came and said, I have bought the petrol, sir, then only we came to realize that his meeting with Abhiram and all these things were just a dream. If it was a dream, and in the dream Abhiram comes and tells him, but how come going home back he finds the thing exactly? Then this said that, yes, dreams also sometimes tell you the exact thing, the true thing. And if the witch doctor's help no one will take, that is true. But in the story it was said that at one point of time Abhiram lost his head and he had stolen. This is what is written. But now we find that he did not steal it. It somehow got misplaced, and being misplaced, it was there. But at one point of the story we found he had stolen it. So again we found that no, he did not steal it, and he had probed his innocence. These things are not matching. Most importantly, if it was just a dream, then how come the thing that he got in the dream, it became exactly true? These are certain things which will compel us to think on many occasions of our life, whenever such a situation will come in our own life, about Meganga Babu, about the supposed or the alleged theft, and the dream, and getting the watch back again in the exact place. All these things will definitely influence us in our own thought, in our own mind, throughout our whole life. And this is how beauty and beauty is created by Satyajit Ray in his story. He takes examples from real life situations, and at the end he makes you think and wonder and explore ideas and feel as if you are in a different world, in your own world of thoughts, trying to match the things, trying to keep a balance between the reality and imagination, between reality and dream, and about superstition also. And all these things happened when the chief character was a man who did not believe in superstition, Meganga Babu. So then, with this we will end this story. I think you will enjoy the story. You have enjoyed the story, and you will definitely find interest in it. And we will meet you again with a new video for a new topic. Thank you very much for being with me.